Small Moon was approaching the outer rim of Council space, moving at speeds that should have torn apart any known material. The object's trajectory was a perfect intercept course with Nexus Prime, the Galaxy Council's seat of power. Zara's coffee mug finally slipped from her nerveless fingers, shattering against the deck plating. In the span of 10 minutes, everything the Galaxy thought it knew about the universe had just been proven wrong. The Galaxy Council chamber on Nexus Prime had never seen such chaos. Representatives from over 200 species filled the vast amphitheater, their voices creating a cacophony of fear, anger, and disbelief in dozens of languages. At the center of it all stood Council Prime Vextar, a being whose crystalline form had weathered 10,000 years of galactic politics. Her usually melodious voice cut through the noise like a plasma blade. Silence. The chamber fell quiet instantly. We face an unprecedented situation. The species calling itself humanity has demonstrated technology that surpasses our greatest achievements. They demand an audience, and they're bringing what appears to be a weapons platform capable of destroying entire star systems. High Admiral Korath of the Zephyrian Fleet Command slammed his 4 fists on his speaking podium. This is obviously a bluff. No primitive species could achieve faster-than-light communication or construct vessels of that magnitude. I say we mobilize the Grand Fleet and show these humans the price of threatening the Council. A ripple of agreement passed through the warrior species representatives, but it was quickly drowned out by the voices of the more cautious civilizations. Admiral Korath speaks with the wisdom of a plasma torch, said Ambassador Quiln of the Healers Consortium, her tentacles writhing with agitation. These humans just proved they can break the laws of physics. What else might they be capable of? Council Prime Vextar raised her crystalline hand for silence. Dr. Yexnol, what does your analysis tell us about this human vessel? The ancient keeper of knowledge materialized in the center of the chamber, his energy form pulsing with data streams. The readings are troubling, Prime. The vessel appears to be constructed from materials we don't recognize, powered by an energy source that shouldn't exist. Its mass readings fluctuate in ways that suggest it may not be entirely anchored in our dimensional space. Meaning what, exactly? Demanded General Krex of the Talon Confederacy. Meaning, General, that this single ship might possess firepower equivalent to our entire combined fleet. Or it might be something else entirely. Something beyond our current understanding of warfare. The chamber erupted again, but this time, the tone had shifted from anger to fear. For the first time in millennia, the Galaxy Council faced something they couldn't categorize, couldn't predict, and couldn't control. There's more, Dr. Yexenol continued. Our xenoarchaeology teams have been analyzing data from the Outer Rim. We've found traces of human presence on 17 different worlds, some dating back nearly 50,000 years. Either they've been hiding their true capabilities for longer than any species in recorded history, or what? Council Prime. Vextar's voice carried an edge of ice. Or they're not originally from the galaxy at all. The silence that followed was deafening. Then, slowly, a new sound began to emerge from the chamber's communication systems. It was music, hauntingly beautiful and utterly alien to galactic civilization. As the melody played, words appeared on the chamber's main display in perfect council. Standard, this is Captain Sarah Martinez. We are 37 minutes out from Nexus Prime. We look forward to our conversation. The transmission ended, leaving 200 of the galaxy's most powerful beings staring at each other in stunned silence. Outside the chamber's massive viewing ports, a new star had appeared in the sky, growing brighter by the minute. Captain Sarah Martinez stood on the bridge of the UEF Prometheus, watching the approaching space station grow larger on the main view screen. At 68 years old, she had spent most of her life preparing for this moment, though she'd never imagined it would happen quite like this. Captain, called out Lieutenant Commander James Park from the communications station, we're receiving over 400 separate transmission requests. Most of them are demanding we identify ourselves and state our intentions. A few are less diplomatic. Any from the Council itself? Yes, ma'am. Council Prime Vextar is requesting immediate communication. She sounds somewhat stressed. Sarah almost smiled. I imagine she is. Patch her through, but keep it on the main screen. I want the whole crew to see this. The view screen shimmered, then resolved into the image of a being that looked like living crystal and starlight. When Vextar spoke, her voice carried harmonics that made the bridge's atmosphere itself seem to vibrate. Captain Martinez, I am Council Prime Vextar. You have caused considerable concern with your dramatic arrival. We demand an explanation for your vessel's impossible capabilities and your intentions regarding Council space. Sarah stepped forward, her posture relaxed but confident. Council Prime, with respect, we didn't come here to be interrogated. We came to introduce ourselves as Earth's representatives and to establish diplomatic relations. As for our capabilities, let's just say that humanity has had some unique advantages in our development. What sort of advantages? The crystalline being's form pulsed with what might have been agitation, the kind that come from spending 50,000 years preparing for this conversation. The bridge fell silent. Even Sarah's crew, who knew more than most about humanity's true history, felt the weight of that revelation. 50,000 years? Vextar's voice carried disbelief. Impossible. Our scouts monitored your solar system. Your species only achieved spaceflight within the last century. Your scouts saw what we wanted them to see, Sarah replied calmly. We've been watching the galaxy for a very long time, Council. Prime. We know about the Kethvar invasion 3 millennia ago. We know about the synthesis wars. We know about the void plague that nearly wiped out the Healers Consortium. We've been preparing. The transmission flickered as multiple council members apparently tried to speak at once. When it stabilized, Vextar's form was noticeably dimmer. You're claiming that humanity has been observing galactic civilization for 50 millennia without revealing yourselves. Not just observing, Sarah said. Helping when necessary. Who do you think provided the cure for the void plague? The warning about the Kethvar fleet's real target? The mathematical proof that broke the synthesis deadlock? That's impossible, came a new voice as High Admiral Korath's image appeared beside Vextar. Those solutions came from our own scientists. Did they? Sarah's expression didn't change. Dr. Yexnall, are you listening? Run a linguistic analysis on those 3 breakthroughs. Check the mathematical syntax, the conceptual frameworks, the underlying assumptions about reality. There was a long pause, then Dr. Yexnall's energy form materialized on the screen. How did you? The patterns are identical. The same unique approach to quantum mechanics, the same conceptual leaps that shouldn't have occurred naturally to any of our species. Because they didn't occur naturally, Sarah said. We guided those discoveries subtly and carefully to help you solve problems that threatened galactic stability. We've been gardeners, tending the galaxy's growth while keeping ourselves hidden. But why? Vextar asked. Why hide? Why reveal yourselves now? Sarah's expression grew grave. Because something is coming that we can't handle alone. Something that will require the combined strength of every species in the galaxy. The age of hiding is over. Before anyone could respond, the ship's tactical officer called out, Captain, we're detecting massive gravitational anomalies on the galactic rim. Something's disturbing the fabric of spacetime itself. Sarah turned back to the screen, where the council representatives were staring at her with expressions ranging from awe to terror. The real conversation is about to begin. The Galaxy Council's emergency session convened within an hour of the Prometheus's arrival. Captain Martinez materialized on the council floor via holographic projection, her image solid and clear, despite being transmitted from her ship. Before we begin, she said, I need you to understand something fundamental about humanity. We are not native to this galaxy. The chamber erupted in chaos, but Martinez continued speaking, her voice cutting through the noise. 53,000 years ago our ancestors arrived here as refugees. Our original galaxy was consumed by something we call the Devourers, entities that exist in the spaces between dimensions, feeding on the life force of entire civilizations. Council Prime Vextar managed to restore order. You're claiming to be extragalactic refugees with technology that advanced? Not when we arrived, Martinez clarified. We were barely more advanced than your Bronze Age civilizations, but we brought something with us that your galaxy had never encountered. The knowledge that such horrors existed. She gestured, and a holographic display appeared above the council floor, showing a three-dimensional map of the local galactic group. For 50,000 years, we've been preparing this galaxy for what's coming, guiding your technological development, subtly encouraging the formation of the council, helping you solve crises that could have fractured your unity, because we knew that one day, the Devourers would find us again. And you believe that day is now? Asked Dr. Yexnol. We know it is. Our deep space monitoring stations have detected the signature distortions that precede their arrival. The gravitational anomalies your sensors are picking up, that's space-time being digested. The holographic display zoomed out, showing the galaxy's edge where reality itself seemed to be unraveling. How long do we have? Admiral Korath's voice was subdued now, the bluster replaced by professional calculation. Based on their approach vector and the rate of dimensional degradation, approximately 18 standard months before they reach the outer colonies. Maybe less. And you believe this galaxy can stand against these Devourers when your original civilization could not? Ambassador Quillen's tentacles writhed with nervous energy. Martinez smiled grimly. Our original civilization was alone. We had no allies, no unified defense. This galaxy has something we never had. Diversity. Hundreds of species, each with unique perspectives on reality, unique approaches to problems. The Devourers consume life force, but they've never faced the combined creativity of this many different forms of consciousness. What exactly are you proposing? Vextar asked. Full disclosure, complete technological and tactical cooperation. Every species contributes their strengths to a unified defense, and humanity provides what we've learned about fighting the Devourers, which is that they're not unstoppable. They're parasites, and parasites have weaknesses. We've spent 50 millennia learning to exploit those weaknesses, but we can't do it alone. The council chamber fell silent as the implications sank in. Finally, General Krex of the Talon Confederacy spoke. What would humanity gain from this alliance? You've hidden for 50,000 years. You could hide again. Let us face this threat while you escape to another galaxy. Martinez's expression hardened. General, you're assuming we have somewhere else to go. The Devourers don't just destroy civilizations, they corrupt the space between galaxies. Our original galaxy is gone, devoured completely. The next nearest galaxy is already showing signs of contamination. This is our last stand, all of ours. She paused, letting that truth settle in. Besides, this galaxy isn't just our refuge anymore. It's our home. We've watched your species grow, overcome challenges, create beauty and wonder. We've fallen in love with what you've built here. We're not going to abandon it. Even if it means revealing the full extent of your capabilities? Dr. Yexnol asked. Even then, though I should warn you, our full capabilities might be more than you're prepared for. As if summoned by her words, new contacts appeared on the Council's sensors, ships, thousands of them decloaking throughout the system. Each one registered energy signatures that dwarfed anything in the Council's fleets. How many ships do you have? Admiral Korath whispered. Enough, Martinez replied. The question is, are you ready to see what humanity has really been building for the last 50,000 years? The space around Nexus Prime transformed in minutes. Where before there had been empty vacuum, now a vast armada materialized out of nothingness. Ships of impossible design hung in formation, their hulls gleaming with materials that seemed to bend light around them. On the council floor, Martinez watched the stunned faces of the galactic representatives as their sensors tried to make sense of what they were seeing. The cloaking technology is based on quantum phase shifting, she explained, calmly. We don't hide from sensors. We exist slightly outside your dimensional space. It's one of the techniques we developed to avoid the Devourer's attention. Admiral Korath was studying his tactical displays with professional fascination and growing alarm. Captain, my sensors are showing your smallest vessels have firepower equivalent to our heavy cruisers. Your largest... He paused, shaking his head. My instruments can't measure their potential destructive capability. That's because they're not purely weapons, Martinez said. They're reality anchors. The Devourers attack by destabilizing the fundamental forces that hold matter together. Our ships reinforce local space-time, making it impossible for them to gain a foothold. How many species in the galaxy know about this fleet? Council Prime Vextar asked. Until today, none. We've maintained complete operational security for 50 millennia. Every human who worked on these projects understood the stakes. Dr. Yexnol's energy form pulsed with rapid calculations. The resource requirements alone, the energy, expenditure to maintain such a fleet in quantum phase, it should have been detectable. It would have been if we were powering it conventionally. But we learned something from our first encounter with the Devourers. They're not the only entities that exist between dimensions. There are others, beings of pure energy that feed on entropy itself. We made a bargain with them. The council chamber fell silent. The implications of humanity having contact with extra-dimensional entities sent ripples of unease through the assembled representatives. What kind of bargain? Ambassador Quillen asked, her voice barely above a whisper. We provide them with controlled entropy. Essentially, we give them the waste, heat from our technology. In return, they provide unlimited clean energy. It's been a mutually beneficial relationship. You've allied yourselves with entities from outside our reality, General Krex said flatly. How do we know you haven't been compromised? How do we know you're not working for these Devourers? Martinez had expected this question. Because, General, the Devourers killed our entropy partners in our original galaxy. Those beings have as much reason to hate the Devourers as we do. They're refugees too in their way. She gestured and new displays appeared around the council chamber, showing detailed technical specifications for weapons and defenses beyond anything the galaxy had imagined. This is what we're offering to share. Dimensional phasing technology, entropy manipulation, reality anchoring systems, quantum communication networks that operate faster than light, and most importantly, detailed intelligence on Devourer tactics and weaknesses. And what do you want in return? Vextar asked. Complete integration. No more secrets. No more hidden agendas. Humanity becomes a full member of the galactic community, and every species contributes to the defense effort according to their abilities. Some species will resist, Admiral Korath pointed out. The revelation that you've been manipulating galactic development for 50,000 years won't sit well with everyone, which is why we need to move quickly, Martinez said. The Devourers don't attack randomly. They're drawn to civilizations that are divided, conflicted, easy to destabilize. Unity is our greatest weapon against them. And if some species refuse to cooperate, General Krex asked. Martinez's expression grew grim. Then we'll defend them anyway, because that's what you do for family. She paused, looking around the chamber at the hundreds of representatives from across the galaxy. Make no mistake, this is going to be the hardest thing any of our civilizations have ever faced. The Devourers consumed a galaxy of 10 billion stars in less than a century. They're not just an enemy to be defeated, they're a force of nature, to be survived. But they can be stopped? Vexatar asked. They can be held back, contained, forced to find easier prey elsewhere. We've run the simulations 10 million times. With full cooperation from every major species, we have a 73% chance of success. And without full cooperation? 12%. The silence that followed was profound. Finally, Council Prime Vextar spoke. Council members, we will recess for 1 standard hour to consider this proposal. When we reconvene, we will vote on whether to accept humanity's offer of alliance. As the representatives began to file out, Martinez called after them. One more thing you should know. We didn't just bring ships and weapons. We brought something else. Hope. For 50,000 years we've believed this day would come. We've prepared for it, planned for it, built everything we have around the idea that this galaxy could stand against the darkness. She smiled, and for the first time since her arrival, it reached her eyes. We didn't survive the destruction of our home galaxy just to watch another one fall. We're here to win. Ned from the viewport, her expression grim. How much time did we lose? Best estimate, 6 months, maybe less. She nodded slowly. 50,000 years of preparation, and it still might not be enough time. Then we'd better get started. Signal the fleet. Begin Phase 3 deployment. And Park? Yes, ma'am. Send a message to every human ship in the galaxy. Tell them it's time to come home. As the Prometheus began to move away from Nexus Prime, its quantum drives engaging with a sound like distant thunder, the galaxy held its breath. In the depths of space, ancient weapons powered up for the first time in millennia. On 1,000 hidden worlds, humans who had lived in secret for generations began to emerge into the light. And on the galactic rim, where space itself was beginning to fray at the edges, something vast and hungry noticed the sudden surge of organized activity and began to move faster through the void between realities. The war for the galaxy's survival was about to begin, but for the first time in 50,000 years, humanity would not face the darkness alone. The galaxy had finally realized that humanity was too mighty to ignore. Soon the Devourers would learn the same lesson, but by then it might already be too late for them. In the cosmic game of survival, the rules had just changed, and humanity had been writing the new rule book for 50 millennia.